Most people think body odor is just a matter of hygiene. But what if I told you there's a specific scent that starts to emerge after age 60, and almost no one knows why it happens? Even more shocking, this scent isn't caused by poor habits or lack of cleanliness. It's triggered by a powerful biochemical compound that your body begins to release as you age. And here's the alarming truth. This subtle but distinct scent could already be forming on your skin right now, even if you don't notice it. It doesn't matter how clean you are, how well you eat, or how much you exercise. If you're over 40, your body may already be producing this hidden marker of time, and it's quietly shaping how others perceive you. Sounds unfair? That's because no one ever talks about it. But there's good news. This phenomenon isn't irreversible. Once you understand what's behind it, and how it connects to your hormones, your diet, your stress, and even your emotions, you can take simple, science-backed steps to reduce it, slow it down, or even eliminate it altogether. You can take back control of your body's chemistry, and with it, your confidence. And here's where it gets really fascinating. There's one molecule, rarely mentioned, but deeply studied, that scientists have linked to this aging smell. And chances are you've never even heard its name. But once you do, you'll never forget it. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn may completely change how you view aging, your body, and the invisible messages you send to the world every single day. Part 1. The mystery of the aging smell. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt transported? Not by the decor or the lighting, but by a scent that you couldn't quite place? A faint, almost musty aroma, subtle yet persistent, one that seems to whisper of memories, time, and stories untold. It's a scent many associate with aging, and yet almost no one talks about it. It's as if this natural phenomenon were part of some silent agreement. We notice it, we register it, and then we politely ignore it. But what if I told you that this smell, the so-called scent of old age, isn't just a random occurrence? What if it's not about poor hygiene, or something you can simply wash away, but rather a biological signature of the passing years, etched into your very skin by time itself? The truth is both fascinating and unsettling. Most people don't realize that our bodies emit thousands of volatile organic compounds every day, microscopic molecules released from our breath, our skin, our sweat. They form a unique olfactory fingerprint, almost like an invisible diary of our health, lifestyle, and age. And over time, that signature changes. What was once a fresh, youthful scent gradually evolves into something different, something older. But here's the thing, this transformation isn't random. It's not just a side effect of aging. It's a story, a biochemical tale being told by your body, whether you're aware of it or not. Imagine for a moment that the human body is a living archive. Every scar, every wrinkle, every scent, it all tells a story. And the scent of aging? It's one of the most misunderstood chapters. It's not the result of poor hygiene or neglect. In fact, many elderly individuals are even more meticulous about cleanliness than younger people. Yet the scent lingers. That's because what we're talking about here is something far deeper than just surface-level odors. It's the body speaking in chemical signals. It's skin, fat, hormones, and oxidation all combining to form a distinct aroma that marks the slow, silent march of time. This scent has a name, though it's rarely spoken outside scientific circles. And even when it is, it's often shrouded in stigma or dismissed as taboo. Why? Perhaps because it touches on something we fear, aging itself. The idea that our bodies, no matter how well we care for them, will inevitably change in ways we can't fully control. That we might leave behind traces of ourselves, not just in the minds of others, but in the very air we inhabit. It's a humbling thought, but it's also a powerful one. Because once you understand that scent is more than just smell, that it's memory, chemistry, biology, and identity all wrapped into one, you begin to see aging not as decay, but as transformation. You begin to question what else might be hidden in the ordinary, the overlooked, the things we take for granted. Could it be that the scent of aging is less of a problem to be solved, and more of a message to be understood? Throughout history, scent has played a role far more profound than we give it credit for. Entire relationships are built or broken on the subconscious power of smell. Studies have shown that scent can influence how trustworthy someone seems, how attractive they appear, even how competent they are perceived to be. And yet, when it comes to the elderly, society often chooses to detach. We blame the scent, we avoid the topic, But in doing so, we miss the opportunity to understand something deeper about the human condition, about resilience, mortality, and the strange poetry of the physical body. You see, the scent of old age isn't just a chemical occurrence. It's a cultural one. It reflects how we view aging, how we treat our elders, how we fear our own mortality. We've been conditioned to recoil from it, to mask it with perfumes or sanitizers, to pretend it doesn't exist. But what if we stopped pretending? What if we faced it head-on? Not with disgust, but with curiosity. Not with shame, but with empathy. Because here's the real mystery. The smell itself is just a symptom. The real story lies in what causes it. In the next part of this video, we'll uncover the surprising molecule behind this scent. A compound that begins to form in the body after a certain age and may hold the key to understanding not only how we age, but how we might age better. And what you're about to learn might just change the way you think about your body forever. Part 2. The science behind the smell. What is 2-nonenal? It may come as a surprise, but the signature scent that often accompanies aging has a name. It's not just a vague, indescribable odor. Science has identified a major culprit behind it. The compound is called 2-nonenal. Hard to pronounce, perhaps, but profoundly important. It's an unsaturated aldehyde, a volatile organic compound, and it carries a greasy, grassy odor often described as unpleasant, slightly metallic, or even reminiscent of old paper or stale beer. But where does it come from? And why does it only seem to appear after a certain age? Let's break it down. Our skin is a dynamic living organ, constantly undergoing renewal. It's covered in sebaceous glands that secrete oils to protect and moisturize the surface. In youth, these secretions are balanced and produce a mix of fatty acids that support the skin's health. And, not incidentally, it's scent. But something interesting happens as we age. Around the age of 40, and more noticeably after 50, the body undergoes subtle but significant hormonal shifts, and these changes begin to alter the chemical composition of our skin's surface lipids. One of the key shifts is the oxidation of omega-7 unsaturated fatty acids, particularly palmitoleic acid. Over time, and especially with exposure to environmental stressors like UV radiation and pollution, these fatty acids begin to degrade, and when they oxidize, they transform into new compounds, chief among them 2-nonenal. This molecule doesn't exist in significant amounts in younger individuals, but in older adults, its presence increases dramatically. Why is this important? Because 2-nonenal is not just any compound. It's uniquely potent. Our noses are extremely sensitive to it, even in minuscule concentrations. In fact, our sense of smell is wired to detect aldehydes like this because they can signal danger, spoilage, decay, contamination. It's a primal response. So when our bodies start to emit more 2-nonenal, it doesn't just go unnoticed. It sends a subtle, subconscious signal to those around us. And often, that signal is misunderstood or misinterpreted as uncleanliness, even though it's not related to hygiene at all. In reality, this is pure biochemistry at work. It's a natural byproduct of aging skin chemistry. Nothing more, nothing less. Yet, despite being natural, it carries deep social implications. Because of how sensitive humans are to scent, 2-nonenal can shape how the elderly are perceived, treated, and even how they perceive themselves. It's one of those invisible forces, subtle, yet powerful, that influence behavior without anyone realizing it. And this leads us into a broader conversation. Why don't we talk about this more openly? Why is something so universal kept in the shadows? Perhaps it's because scent is personal, intimate, closely tied to identity and self-worth. No one wants to be told they smell old. It evokes embarrassment, even shame. But it doesn't have to. Because understanding the science behind 2-nonenal opens the door to something much more empowering, the ability to respond, adapt, and even prevent its effects. Interestingly, researchers in Japan were among the first to identify and study 2-nonenal extensively. In one landmark study conducted by the Japanese cosmetics company Shiseido, scientists analyzed the skin secretions of people in different age groups and discovered this compound was significantly more prevalent in individuals over 50. That revelation shifted the entire understanding of age-related body odor, from myth to measurable science. And once something becomes measurable, it becomes manageable. But there's more to the story. The production of 2-nonenal is not just about oxidation and skin chemistry. It's also influenced by diet, lifestyle, hormonal health, and even gut microbiota. That's right, your gut bacteria, which play a role in everything from immunity to mood regulation, may also indirectly influence your scent profile through metabolic byproducts that reach the skin. The body is an ecosystem, and every system is interconnected. So when someone emits more 2-nonenal, it's not just a single process at work. It's the sum of decades of life. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the stress we carry, the hormones we produce, the environments we move through, all of it leaves a chemical trace. And far from being just a nuisance, these traces can serve as early indicators of internal imbalances, even before symptoms appear. Some scientists are now exploring scent analysis as a tool for non-invasive diagnosis, detecting illness through changes in body odor. What once was merely unpleasant may one day be life-saving. So, what can be done? Can we reduce 2-nonenal? Can we alter the trajectory of this biochemical aging process? That's where things get truly exciting, because while we can't stop time, we can influence how it shows up in our bodies. And yes, even in our scent. In the next part, we'll dive into the surprising habits that actually make this age-related odor worse, and chances are you're doing at least one of them without even realizing it. Part 3. Habits that worsen the smell. What you might be doing without knowing. Now that we understand the biochemical roots of the aging smell, specifically the role of 2-nonenal, it's time to explore something even more critical: the hidden habits that unknowingly amplify it. Because while this compound may naturally increase with age, many of our daily choices can either accelerate or mitigate its production, and most people have no idea they're making it worse. Let's begin with something simple, yet incredibly powerful: diet. What we eat doesn't just affect our weight, energy levels, or cholesterol. It profoundly influences our internal chemistry, and by extension, our scent. Diets high in processed foods, refined sugars, and trans fats create a perfect storm for oxidative stress. This stress doesn't just age your cells, it also enhances the degradation of skin lipids, leading to increased production of compounds like 2-nonenal. In contrast, diets rich in antioxidants, think leafy greens, berries, nuts, and omega-3 fatty acids, help neutralize free radicals, slowing down that oxidative chain reaction. What you put in your mouth today could influence how your skin smells tomorrow. But diet is only the beginning. One of the most overlooked culprits is chronic stress. The modern world thrives on speed and performance, but your body pays the price. When stress becomes a constant state, cortisol levels remain elevated. This hormonal shift doesn't just affect mood, it affects your entire endocrine system, leading to imbalances in oil production and increased inflammation. In this internal chaos, your skin becomes more vulnerable to oxidative reactions. And remember, more oxidation means more 2-nonenal. In essence, stress has a scent, and it's not a pleasant one. Another major contributor? Poor sleep. You may think you're just losing rest, but sleep deprivation is one of the fastest ways to compromise your body's natural detox systems. During deep sleep, your body clears out cellular waste, repairs damaged tissues, and restores hormonal balance. When sleep is disrupted or insufficient, this cleanup process is incomplete, leading to accumulation of toxins, hormonal dysregulation, and, yes, more body odor. So if you're burning the candle at both ends, you're not just tired. You may also be amplifying your own aging scent without even knowing it. Let's talk about hygiene, but not in the way you think. It's not about taking more showers. In fact, over-cleansing can sometimes make things worse. Harsh soaps, antibacterial cleansers, and alcohol-based products strip the skin's natural oils and disrupt the microbiome, that delicate layer of beneficial bacteria that helps protect you. When this barrier is weakened, the skin is more exposed to environmental damage and prone to imbalance, which in turn creates a more reactive environment for 2-nonenal to thrive. The key isn't to scrub more, but to care more, choosing gentle skin-balancing products that support the body rather than wage war against it. Another surprising contributor is synthetic clothing. Fabrics like polyester and nylon, commonly used in sportswear and everyday fashion, don't allow the skin to breathe effectively. They trap sweat and oils, creating a warm, humid environment that encourages the proliferation of bacteria and accelerates oxidation. Natural fibers like cotton, bamboo, and linen, on the other hand, help regulate temperature and allow for better moisture evaporation, essential for keeping the skin's ecosystem in balance. In other words, your wardrobe may be silently influencing your scent profile. And what about alcohol and smoking? Few habits disrupt the body more. Alcohol is dehydrating, inflammatory, and alters liver function, reducing the efficiency of your body's detoxification system. The result? More waste products secreted through the skin. Smoking, meanwhile, accelerates aging at a cellular level, breaks down collagen, and promotes the exact type of oxidative stress that produces 2-nonenal. In effect, both habits coat the body from the inside out in a residue of imbalance, an invisible fog that eventually becomes perceptible to the nose. Even your emotional state plays a role. Emotions like fear, sadness, anger, and anxiety trigger chemical changes in the body, and your skin reacts accordingly. People under emotional duress often emit different odor profiles compared to those who are calm or content. This is why some scents seem comforting and others repelling. It's not just the physical composition, but the emotional signature embedded within. So what does all of this tell us? It reveals something powerful. While aging is inevitable, how we age is a choice. Every habit, every bite, every breath, every sleepless night or quiet moment of calm, each of these contributes to the narrative your body is telling. The scent you carry is not just biology, it's biography. It's a chemical reflection of your journey, your struggles, your resilience, and your care. And the good news? Every story can be edited. Every habit can be transformed. You are not doomed to smell a certain way simply because you crossed a certain age threshold. You have agency, more than you realize. In the next part of this video, we'll reveal practical, science-backed strategies you can start applying today to reduce or even eliminate the aging odor and reclaim the scent of vitality. Part 4. How to reduce or eliminate the scent of aging, reclaiming your body's signature. By now, we understand that the aging smell, specifically linked to the compound 2-nonenal, isn't just an unfortunate byproduct of growing older. It's a chemical footprint of everything we've lived, felt, eaten, and experienced. But here's the empowering truth. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it's inevitable. While we can't rewind the clock, we can absolutely influence how our bodies age and, yes, how they smell. So let's talk about how. The first and most foundational tool is diet. What you eat quite literally becomes what you emit. Increasing your intake of antioxidant-rich foods is one of the most powerful steps you can take to reduce oxidative stress and minimize the breakdown of fatty acids that produce 2-nonenal. Incorporate vibrant, whole foods into your meals. Dark leafy greens, blueberries, pomegranates, green tea, turmeric, and fatty fish like salmon. These foods don't just nourish your cells, they protect them. They act like microscopic shields defending your skin lipids from oxidation. Consider also adding more zinc and vitamin E, both of which support skin health and balance sebum production. Hydration, though often overlooked, is another essential pillar. The body uses water to flush toxins and maintain skin elasticity and clarity. When you're dehydrated, your system becomes sluggish, detoxification slows, and waste begins to accumulate in the skin. Make water your main drink of choice. Add a splash of lemon or cucumber if you like, but drink generously and consistently. Your skin and your scent will thank you. Next, let's return to the skin itself, your largest organ, and your first line of communication with the outside world. A shift in skincare can make a dramatic difference. Choose pH-balanced, gentle cleansers that preserve the skin's natural microbiome. Harsh soaps can strip protective oils and disrupt the bacterial balance, which ironically makes odor worse over time. Instead, use cleansing oils, micellar waters, or plant-based washes that nourish while they clean. Incorporate exfoliation, but not excessively. Use soft scrubs or fruit enzyme-based exfoliants once or twice a week to remove dead skin cells and allow fresh, healthy skin to breathe. And don't underestimate the power of targeted deodorizing and neutralizing ingredients. Certain natural extracts such as green tea, witch hazel, and licorice root have been shown to reduce odor-causing compounds on the skin. Some body washes and creams now include ingredients specifically designed to combat 2-nonenal, developed especially for mature skin. These are worth exploring, not as a means to mask your scent, but as tools to help balance and reset your skin's chemistry. Your clothing matters too. Choose breathable, natural fibers like cotton, bamboo, or linen, especially for clothing that stays close to your body. These materials allow moisture to escape, reduce bacterial buildup, and help regulate your body temperature. Wash them with gentle, unscented detergents to avoid layering artificial chemicals on your skin, which can alter or worsen your body's natural odor. Now let's zoom out to your internal environment, your mind and emotions. Stress management is no longer a luxury. It's a biological necessity. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, tai chi, or even just daily walks in nature can lower cortisol levels, regulate hormones, and bring your body back into balance. When your nervous system is calm, your entire biochemistry changes. Your sweat composition shifts, your inflammatory markers drop, and yes, your scent becomes softer, more neutral, more aligned with health than stress. Let's not forget movement. Exercise doesn't just keep muscles strong, it boosts circulation, accelerates detoxification, and encourages healthy skin turnover. Sweating during exercise also helps purge toxins. But here's the key: regularity. It doesn't have to be intense. A 30-minute walk, some light yoga, or even dancing in your living room can work wonders for your internal chemistry and your external presence. Then there's something less obvious but deeply influential: gut health. Your microbiome plays a role in every system of your body, including your skin. Probiotics and prebiotics support the balance of good bacteria in your digestive system, which can help regulate inflammation, hormones, and the metabolic byproducts that may end up being emitted through the skin. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and fiber-rich vegetables like leeks and onions can all contribute to a healthier, more balanced internal ecosystem. And finally, don't ignore connection. Emotional isolation has been shown to increase cortisol levels, disrupt sleep, and exacerbate physical decline. People who feel seen, heard, and loved carry themselves differently. Their bodies respond differently. They emit a different kind of energy. Call a friend, hug your partner, laugh often. These things might not seem scientific, but they are. Love in all its forms is perhaps the most powerful form of anti-aging we have, because at the end of the day, your scent is more than molecules. It's an aura, a resonance, a silent but powerful signature of who you are and how you care for yourself. In the final part of this video, we'll explore a deeper reflection on aging, identity, and how the scent of time isn't something to fear, but something to understand, accept, and even cherish. Part 5. The scent of time and the body that tells stories. There's something hauntingly beautiful about the idea that our bodies are constantly writing stories, not just in wrinkles, scars, or posture, but in scent. A scent that speaks before we do, that lingers long after we've left the room. A scent shaped by decades of living, of feeling, of becoming. We often think of aging in terms of what is lost: youth, energy, clarity. But what if aging is also about what is gained? Depth, substance, a quiet power. Every chapter of life leaves its mark, not only on the skin but in the invisible language the body speaks. And while science may call it too nominal, what it truly represents is memory. It is the molecular echo of everything you've endured, survived, and embraced. Yes, this scent can be misunderstood. It can be socially stigmatized, reduced to something shameful or embarrassing, but only because we've been taught to fear age, to fight it, to silence its signs. But when we truly pause, when we breathe it in without judgment, we begin to understand. This isn't the smell of decay. It's the scent of time. And time, when honored, is sacred. Your body has carried you through storms. It has felt joy, pain, heartbreak, healing. It has evolved, adapted, endured. Why wouldn't it speak? Why wouldn't it leave a trace? Of course you have tools, now more than ever, to take care of this body, to support it as it changes, to gently adjust its chemistry. And that's powerful. You can reduce what doesn't serve you and amplify what does. You can eat better, sleep deeper, move with intention, breathe with awareness. You can care without fear. But all of that must come not from a place of shame, but of reverence. Because aging is not a flaw in the design. It is the design. And if your scent changes, let it be a sign not of decline, but of richness. Let it be a reminder that you've lived, that you are living still, and that your presence, visible and invisible, matters. There's no shame in being a body that tells stories. There is only meaning. And speaking of stories, this is just one of many we bring to light on this channel. Stories that science rarely explains. Truths that society often overlooks. If this video made you reflect, helped you understand something new about your body, or simply made you feel a little more human, then consider joining us. Subscribe, tap the bell, share this with someone you care about. Because here we don't just talk about biology, we talk about life, and there's so much more ahead.